Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It's Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. Today we're going to look at SPX daily, VIX daily, and we'll go to the 65 here in the public video for those two names as well. And we'll end it there and we'll go to the members video. If you're interested in getting those videos, it's $10 a month. You can go on Patreon or YouTube as a member. And if you want to get a deal, you can go to Patreon and buy the whole year for $90. Okay. On the members video, we will go through our usual major indices, and we'll also check out our trades that were still in to the upside, which is the Qs, SMH, Apple, Broadcom. I have a lotto on Boeing that I'll share with you. SpaceX. Okay, so a lot to go through. And so we'll go through those on the daily time frame real quick. And then tomorrow we'll get in a lot more depth on the 65-minute. All right, so let's jump into it, you guys. We have SPX on the daily time frame. We'll close this up. We've been using the playbook of 2022. It had an ascending triangle. The triangle failed at all-time highs. So we have a little bit to update here on verbiage. Okay, we see this triangle, ascending triangle breakout. We have the divergences that formed. Now the big question is, do we make a new high before failing or not? And that's still, you can't mark off the fact that we're holding trend right now. We also have a Fibonacci that's going to be important on the 65-minute, and I'll show you that when we get to that time frame. And so the question is, do we get a lower high or a higher high? And we're starting to strengthen the lower high aspect of this move, and that was because of NDX. And again, that's something we'll go through with members. And so we'll continue to monitor this, see if we can catch a lower high or just peak above and hit the channel that's right above and break down. Okay, but so far just pinching between the 20 and the 8, which is no surprise, because we have, sorry, I had to pause it. No surprise, because we have all of this information that's coming up. We have this data, the GDP, we have durable goods, we have inflation, we have Kevin Warsh coming with the Jackson Hole economic policies coming up on Friday, and we have, most probably importantly in the near term, we have Nvidia earnings tomorrow night after the bell. So it's no surprise that we're starting to see just a little bit of a pinch here, pause. I do think we go to the upside. Nevertheless, if we get a lower high or higher high, I'm looking for a move up from this point. Okay, let's go to the public board. And we added on this channel. See this beautiful channel here. If you're on log scaling, we're already hitting the top of that channel. We also have a wedge forming here as well. All right, a bearish rising wedge. So we're looking for this consolidation area. Does it hold? Had a breakout? Do we get a fake break back under it? Let's look at some of these indicators. We had that negative divergence here, but we have a placeholder for the near term. If we do go get a new high, we should see in this near term, we can't negate that yet, that we should see a negative divergence. Now we see the slow stochastic. We're starting to get a buy signal here and on the daily time frame. And so I do suspect we'll get a cycle higher on the slow stochastic. That also could lead us to one more new high. Again, I don't think the Qs or NDX are going to make a new high at all. But in this near term, we could make a new high on SPX. call an oscillator. Negative divergence here at these two peaks. But again, there's a placeholder right here. We don't have that divergence yet. We have to get a new high for this to work out. But I think we'll get another lower high at that point if we do go make a new high. All right, Bollinger Band holding that mid band. And let's see if we have a demarc, any sort of setup here. We have a 6 count, no real setup. Elliott oscillator. Again, if we do go make a new high, we should see a lower high in this oscillator. Let's go to the VIX. We'll keep the moving averages on. And you see we have this nice large wedge. It's a bullish falling wedge. I do think that we'll have a bullish move in the VIX. Are we there yet? We're kind of consolidating in this daily cycle low window. The window opened up yesterday. We have, clearly it's going to skew a little bit more right-handed, if I will, because of the data that's coming out and the earnings. So will we see our low? Do we see this move down just a little bit? Or does it just keep going sideways until our rising phase starts to take place? Okay, we already have a smaller wedge, so we have the breakout, but we're just holding underneath the 16 area. And we're pinching between the 8 and the 20. Okay. And we could get, like I said, if the market wants to go to one more high, we could retest the bottom of this wedge again, going into this window, which would be Wednesday. And at the latest, Thursday, I think, would be where we catch a low. Okay. So let's go to SPY. We'll see if we can hash out a little bit of Fibonacci information. Here's where we first left off. There's that megaphone top. We'll be looking for a retest of that megaphone top at some point. We'll also have some Fibonacci's a little bit lower in the future if we start to get this lower high. And if I bring it to the 65, we had this move, okay? That's a strong wave 3 move. And the question is, do we have, is this part of wave 3 or even, no. What we're working on is this being a 3-wave move, right? That's exactly what it looks like. Now you can argue if the peak is in that you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an expanding wedge. Okay, so you can count it and it can be done. But what the bulls are saying is here's your wave 3 peak. And now we have an A, a B expanded, and then a C impulse wave down. So whether you're bull or bear, you're still counting this as a 5-wave move. See how that works out? So let me get these out of the way, clean this up a bit. So if you're a bull, you're looking for this first impulse wave. Sorry about that. This first impulse wave, and then your wave 2 correction. So I'm going to use all of wave 3, this retracement tool, up to the top of wave 3. And we can bring it all the way over here. We're going to doing that for a reason. And then we're going to put our typical wave 4 retracements, the 236 and the 382. And it works out perfect that the first possible A wave of your expanded flat came down to the 236, expanded B, and your C wave, an impulse wave, came right to that 382. It was retested as a double bottom, and you cannot negate the fact that this could be a wave 4. And then you get your last wave 5 up top. Where would that wave 5 go? We'll have some Fibonacci extensions that we can use. There's also, some, there's a channel that we can use. There's this top up here if it goes just a little bit further. But we don't know what's coming up here. We just know that we're going to get a bounce in the meantime. And so what we do is we take this simultaneous with the Fibonacci retracements on NDX and also SMH, and you do all of that at the same time to see if this is going to work out for you. Okay, but either way, I think the easy trade here is at least a retracement. And because of the relative strength of this market over the Qs, if the Qs bounce as well, along with the Mag 7 and SMH, the semiconductors, then what we're looking for is probably, in my opinion, most likely a 786 retracement. If we even do get a lower high, it would be the 786. Get on top of the 786, and it's a high chance the probability starts to rise that we're going to make all-time highs and probably see maybe 780 or so. Okay, so this is the arrow going up. We'll move it over. We'll adjust this a little bit. Some projections here for you. I think we'll get to the 775. I think the easy trade is pretty much getting to the 775, at least for a bounce. This is now a breakout of the channel. And we had a back test today. And we're going to look to push tomorrow with the, whatever kind of data comes out. These are just placeholders. All right. This isn't where I think the price is going to go specifically. We'll start to measure extensions if we do get a lower high. We can start to measure out extensions for our move. Now, looking at some of the indicators, moving averages, we're starting to firm up above the 8 and the 20 for our bounce here on the breakout. And here's another good sign that we're going to see a bullish move. So we have the RSI came down to the made a low here, and then in this near term, I know that SPX made a new low. Let me double check here. 762.08, 762.04. So it didn't quite make a new low on SPY. Nevertheless, SPX did, and so you had the positive divergence here. You don't have to have positive divergence. And we're starting to see strength kind of break out from these levels here. So you see strengthening. We're having a positive move here in the slow stochastic, and we're seeing a bull cross on the MACD. All right, so signs are good that we're at least going to go hit some of these targets up here. We'll call it the 773 to 775 zone. Bollinger Band getting really tight. I suspect that we'll push this band back up higher, but getting real tight. So we should have a big move coming in. Money flow, we have accumulation. We saw that in this move down here to here. D-mark had a 9 count sell exhaust, and then we tested the lows again, and now we're starting to rise. So that was the setup earlier. Elliott oscillator made a low and is starting to get to the neutral area so far. No setup from that. Let's finish this off with the VIX on a 65. Boom. Okay, so we're going to have to move around some arrows here just to, it's starting to, price action starting to mess around here. So let me move this away. So we got a little pop. All right, that's what we had with this arrow here. Let me dig in just a little closer. So we did get this pop here. We got a gap up. We can close that arrow out. And then I said we'd go lower. Now we did make a new high. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and move this to the lowest point as it made a new high. So what could happen is it's still a bear flag at this point. This could be a leading diagonal as well. So if this does hold going into all this news and such. I don't think so. I think it's going to close this gap and maybe, possibly close the gap down here. But what I'm thinking, this is more of a leading diagonal, and we'll just get a higher low that comes down to the 1476 area, and that's a liquidity area for those members who are following. So my best projection is, now that we've had a peak here, I think we would we're likely to go test, and that's the bottom of the wedge as well. We're going to test that liquidity box, close that gap, and off to the races from there. Now, it's not going to be a straight line. So as we go through this, we'll start to, fix things up. But possibly could get a move to back test and then form some more market structure, something like that. So you have these positive moves here, higher highs, higher lows, but I think this is one structure. It should correct. And so now you have basically a 1-2 setup, which is one of my favorite setups that I talk about all the time in the Discord. That's where most of these trades that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes came from. And then we're going to have a higher low, and then we form more market structure, positive structure to the upside. Okay. All right. So you guys, that's what I'm looking for overall in the market. And then in order to figure out if we're on the right track, we'll have to look at all the other indices. So that's where we're going to leave here on the public video. We'll mark this off as 1645. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.